I'm Chris Wood, sports editor with Greenwood Today, and I'm here with Coach Brian Neal for the '96 Wildcats. Coach, thank you for having me.
Appreciate you being here.
How long have you actually been on the coaching staff at '96?
I've been here since 1994. Came in for 1 year with Coach Dale Loper, and then Coach Doolittle came in the following year.
Okay. And before that?
Before that, I was at Long Ken Academy. I was the head coach down there in the private school, Skeezer League, and we played 11-man football. In my final year, there we played 8-man football. We won the state championship.
Okay. This was your first season as head coach. What were your feelings about that?
I thought the season went pretty well. You know, we're not satisfied with the 3-8 record by any means. It was kind of a lateral step from last year, pretty much. And, but I'm proud of the way our kids played and the way the kids handled a lot of things going on around the team and the town. And so I'm proud of the way we acted and the way we, I guess, competed.
Was it what you expected, or?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected coming in.
Was the workload any more difficult?
Well, sure. You know, there's a lot of things outside of coaching the game that goes on that you have to deal with, and preparations on the field and all the administrative duties around that goes along with it. But it's still football, and I still enjoy it, and it's great.
You know, you work with Coach Doolittle, who has a star status around here. Did you take any things from him, or did you just completely wipe the slate clean and start with your own playbook and such?
A little bit of both. There's a lot of good things Coach Doolittle did, and you know, with organization skills, the way practice was run, a lot of things are very similar. There's some things that I took from my past experiences in other places or whatever, and did, but it wasn't a whole lot of change, I think, as far as structure goes.
Okay. Looking back on this season past, what are some positives that you can draw from it?
Well, I think our kids played hard, and they gave it all they had about every game. We'd have our lapses just like all teams do in each game, and you know, we lost by 8 points. I think was our biggest loss prior to the playoff loss, and we were in every game against bigger, stronger kids, and we competed. And minus one play here and there, we could have very easily been 8-3 or something instead of 3-8. So.
And now, what do you think some things that you need to work on?
Well, you know, coming in, we knew we wanted to find some offensive linemen. That was, you know, we graduated a lot from last year, and they developed well. Coach Matthew Owens did a great job with them, and it actually probably became our strength by the end of the year. And going into next year, I feel that's going to be our strength going in is our offensive line, and then our running game's going to be good, I think, again coming up next year.
You have a fairly young team too, right?
Well, we graduated 15 seniors, but we also graduated that many the year before, and with good programs and programs that have, you know, good participation, you're going to have 15.
Right.
You know, you're not going to have many classes of 1 or 2 of them. You're going to just keep rolling it over, and that's what we continue to do.
There are a lot of good coaches say you don't rebuild, you reload.
Well, you know, I hope our reloading we're reloading to a better year next year, but yeah, we're going to have kids coming up in the JV and some juniors who didn't play a whole lot of time this year, so we're moving up into starting positions that I feel real comfortable about. In fact, we've already started looking a little bit of that, and we look forward to next year.
The game against Abbeville stands out a whole lot because they finished the season undefeated. Pretty much look like they're on their way as far as state championships is concerned, and their rushing game is just powerful. I mean, I saw them when they played Emerald, and their running back just ran right through the Emerald defense. But y'all held them to 14 points. You only lost by 7. Talk about how.
Well, Coach Harrison did a great job with our defense, and it's his first year as a coordinator, and I thought he did a great job. And no, nobody really ran the ball on us all year. We felt, you know, the big name backs, the Gilchrist at Bill had 30-something yards. Josh Harris, who's at Batesburg, had something similar to that, very few yards. Nobody really ran the ball consistently against us prior to the Newberry game. You know, Newberry ran up some yards on its first half, but we made some adjustments, and the second half they didn't get anything. So, you know, defensively we played well, and that kept us in some games that maybe we shouldn't have been in, but our defense played well and keep us in and keep it close.
In your past, you were a defensive coach pretty much, right?
Right. I was
so your style of play is, do you focus on the defense, or do you try to balance both?
Well, I try to balance both. Like I said, Coach Henderson does defense, and Coach Hussberg is the offensive coordinator, and he does that, and I just kind of pick and pick and poke at each one of them and kind of let them do their job and put my input where I feel like it needs to be.
You know, you did go 3-8 this year. But you know, what do you think your biggest win was?
Well, no, all three of them are big wins. You know, when you're 3-8, you take any kind of win that you can get. And I'm proud of all the wins, and I'm proud of the losses. Like I said, I thought we played well enough to win most all of them. You just, like for whatever reason, we didn't make that one play we needed to make to either didn't make a play at the end of the game to win it, or we made the bad play at the end of the game to lose it. So, you know, I'm proud of the team for all 11 games they played. The wins just didn't come off even enough.
How big do you think the Emerald game was? Going there and winning, because that game pretty much decided which one of y'all would
Right. Well, the Emerald game is always big. You know, there are county rivalries. Them and Ware shows are county rivalries, and but the position and where it is, it's the last game of the year, and always has some kind of playoff implications involved with it, so it makes it bigger. And to get that win is always big for us.
You made it to the playoffs, your first season there. Big accomplishment for any coach in their first season to make it to the playoffs. Really, no matter what conference you're in, what league you're in, it's a very big deal to make it to the playoffs your first season. You know, what are your plans for next year, and how do you improve on this season?
Well, I know I've learned a lot going through this year. From first day I got the job to now, it seems like there's something new every day that I learn. I hope I can take some of those things and make us better in whatever aspect it may be. It's hard to point to one thing that you can look at and say, okay, this needs to be improved on, because there's several things. You know, we need to run the ball better. We need to throw the ball better. I think our run defense is pretty good, but it can be better. Pass defense needs to be better. So there's a lot of things, and as a general view that we come back and try to play better on all around the board.
Okay, a local news source in Greenwood County kind of blew out of proportion the whole QB controversy, is what they labeled it as. And from what I saw, the way he played, Forrest Dove, the way he played excellent from what I saw. I only saw when they played him. But I want to hear the real story from you. What's the real deal?
Well, you know, I wish there was a controversy at every position. You know, there's a controversy at every position. That means you have two guys who are competing for the job, and but just the spotlight of being a quarterback position and things of that nature just, you know, brings it to a head, I guess. That's the focus of every football team, the quarterback position.
Right.
And you know, I tried to be fair to both, and they both got time. And when one was doing particularly well, I left him in.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's just pretty much what it was. Whoever got things going stayed in the ball game for the most part, and that's what we did.
So there was no real controversy then?
It wasn't any controversy as far as I was concerned. I tried to give them both equal time, and if one was playing much better than the other, I left them.
Yeah, that's a good, you know, coaching decision as well. How does it feel to coach the same team that you won a state championship with?
Well, you know, this is home, and it was an opportunity that just came up at the right time, and almost a little late, but it came up at the right time, and things worked out. And I guess I always believe in maroon and gold, and this is where I want to be. And you know, it's important to me to be successful because it's home. It's also important to me because it's my town, and this is where I want to be, and I want to be successful for a long time.
Right. Now, next year you're moving to Division 1A, right?
Right.
What's your thoughts about that? Because like Ware Shoals, they'll be a division rival. Howland Falls.
Right.
So what's your thoughts about moving?
Well, I think numbers-wise, that's where we belong. You know, when we first went down to 2A just several years ago, we were at the top of the 1A bracket. We might have been maybe the biggest 1A at that time, or at least the second biggest 1A at that time. And you know, we were right there on the edge. But now, you know, more schools have opened up, schools have split up or whatever, and we're probably somewhere around in the 10 or 15 below the top schools. So we're kind of in the middle of it all now. So that's kind of where we belong enrollment-wise, and hopefully we can compete down there and continue doing what we're doing. We're going to continue to play. In fact, next year our non-region schedule pretty much becomes a region schedule and vice versa. We're going to open up with Abbeville, play Emerald and Saluda, have Crescent in week 4 and Newberry for our non-region games. And then I think it's week 7 or so we cross bracket and play Landrum as another non-region game. So our schedule is going to be tough.
All right. Well, I appreciate you interviewing, and good luck next year.
Thank you.